From WMBD 31, your local weather authority, this is your forecast first.
Very good Monday evening to you. We'll break it down in your forecast coming up, but first your news at 10 starts right now.
To me, you know, it's not like I'm in the United States. I'm over in a foreign country and the bombs have just went off. You know, I heard yesterday there's little kids out on the road crying. They, you know, once you live through this, I don't think you'll ever forget it, ever.
It's going to take time to put this back together. And, you know, when all the national media leaves, it's going to be the neighbors that are here helping each other out.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Larson.
And I'm Maria Chandler.
Many places throughout the viewing area are still recovering tonight.
Severe storms and multiple tornadoes tore through the area, destroying homes and businesses in their path. Here's what we know at this hour as many start rebuilding hope. Search and rescue is still underway in Washington. The Tazewell County coroner confirms that 51-year-old Steve Neubauer passed away from injuries sustained in the storm. Governor Quinn declares 7 counties state disaster areas. Assessment of damage has started so communities can get federal disaster relief. Washington Mayor Gary Meniere estimates 250 to 500 homes have been affected in Washington. The recovery process expected to take a long time due to weather. IEMA says there are no missing person reports.
One Washington family still reeling from the devastation is having trouble figuring out their needs because they can't get back into town and search the rubble where their house once stood. WMBD's Eugene Daniel shares their remarkable story and what they hope to do next.
When I came up, there was just nothing. It was just the deck of the house. House was completely gone.
Kurt and Bridget Williams are staying with relatives just outside of Washington. This is what's left of their home. Out of their basement, they and their 3 kids emerged, unharmed but shocked.
To see the cars in the street and you know, there's nothing but debris. And you know, as far as I could see, looking southwest, I mean, it was nothing.
We couldn't see other people coming up, and I think that was probably one of the most scary things, is you didn't know your house was on top of somebody else's house where you knew their basement was, and you didn't know how they were going to get out.
So now these are actually the clothes that we're at least able to dig out.
A few clothes and pictures are among the items they recovered before getting kicked off their property Sunday. Authorities are keeping people away for safety, but the couple wants to get home and search for anything they can find.
You lost your wallet, so he doesn't have a driver's license, he doesn't.
Yeah, right now I've got no form of ID, and hopefully they'll let me back in once we go in.
Bridget's wedding ring, symbolic of 16 years of marriage, is gone. But their desire to go back is about much more than valuables.
I think part of it's just getting, you know, closure to the whole thing. It's one of those things that, you know, our house is, I mean, there's no resemblance of a house. It's just a pile of wood. And so it's, you know, part of it's putting closure to it.
Then maybe they could start the next chapter. In Washington, Eugene Daniel, WMBD 31 News.
The couple's 3 children are staying in another town until the family figures out their plans. They want to rebuild in Washington and say they could not imagine a better community.
The images of the tornado that ripped through Washington are tragic. It's been the mindset of hundreds of volunteers who've been tracking the devastation. But at this point, police are turning many away so crews can work. WMBD's Jacob Pecklow explains how those who've made it inside are helping rebuild Washington.
These things usually don't happen around this time of year, and it's so close to Thanksgiving, and all these people have lost their homes. It's really sad.
Then I think, though, there's a beam of steel.
Stephen Blyle has been working for most of the day. Scattered across this yard, debris from a family barn, and even a boat.
It's completely overturned. That's at least several tons, and that's just crazy.
Volunteers are plentiful in Washington, but at this point, they can't all go to work.
I want to thank everybody that has offered volunteer help. We've been turning people away because at this point, we simply are not ready.
We had one guy from Rockford stop in, and we've had probably 9 or 10 people working continuously with us to get some of our stuff out of the house.
Have such an influx of people coming in, going, that those kind of things are just ongoing. It's 24/7.
Even as the sky turns dark, workers are still trying to clear this field near Crossroads Church, which is serving as the hub for Red Cross and the relief efforts.
There's people out here who don't even know each other, just all pulling together, so, you know, we have a lot to be grateful for. It's just been an incredible outreach and outpouring of love, and we like to think that it's God's love in action, and it's a good thing.
And through it all, the resolve of these volunteers is not being shaken.
We'll all pull together and do what we can do, and God helping us all, we'll pull through this.
In Washington, Jacob Peklo, WMBD 31 News.
The Washington Chamber of Commerce is in need of volunteers. People are needed to help with the collection and organization of donations. That's starting tomorrow. The Chamber is asking people to work in 3-hour shifts starting between 9 a.m. and 6 o'clock at night. It needs at least 16 people per shift. If you'd like to help, you can call 309-229-6524. Leave a voicemail with your contact information and what shifts you can help.
We now know that more than 200 families in Washington are homeless. But officials say it's a miracle so many people walked away unharmed. WMBD's Alexandra Suter is sharing one family's story of survival.
This used to be Joey Davidson's Washington home.
I mean, there's nothing left.
Davidson took shelter on the lowest level with his wife, 6-year-old son, and 1-year-old daughter.
I could feel everything that was hitting me. I knew it was cinder blocks, and I knew it was trusses. I knew, you know, it was just very surreal. And at one point, I thought I was a goner.
In a matter of seconds, their home was torn apart, but he knows they're lucky to have even survived.
The wind actually, I think, picked me up and sucked me up on top of the pile, so I only had a few things to remove. And then when I did, my family was under the rubble. All I could hear was them screaming.
Fortunately, his wife and kids have only minor cuts and bruises. His injuries, though, are a little more severe.
Cracked rib and, you know, vertebrae and dislocated shoulder, but, you know, surviving, counting my blessings.
For the Davidson family, the destruction comes after an already tough year.
Just bought the house, too. Just paid off the car the day before. So, once again, you know, got laid off about a month ago.
But on this Monday, he's finding that maybe not everything was lost.
The Wolfgang? Sweet.
A friend found his favorite guitar.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
His wife discovered some of his son's clothes.
His clothes were?
But the best news he's received yet, a hard drive full of family photos went untouched.
It's awesome.
Davidson says he's not sure where they're going to live or how long it will take to recover, but with his family by his side, he knows every day forward will be a little bit better.
You know, this thing has taken our house, but like I said, if I can get back a beach towel or the laundry basket, it's a win.
In Peoria, Alexandra Suter, WMBD 31 News.
Local hospitals report about 20 people are still being treated. 3 of them remain in critical condition.
Well, after Sunday's riveting storm, Robert Best of Pekin was inspired to document its effects, not with a still photo or video, but on paper. It's a poem he hopes inspires others.
In the wake. Today, the storm cloud rolled in. They were thick and black as coal. Some were home, some at church, while others were still asleep and didn't even know. Warning signs pierced over the city. Terror fell from the sky. People scattered and scrambled for cover. Hearts trembled as prayers ascended, but destruction came in the blink of an eye. Homes splintered and broke apart as trees cracked and fell to the ground. Cars tumbled and were thrown through the air, along with everything that was not nailed down. The fierce roar of the wind, the only sound. For many, what once was is no more. Many were injured. A few lost loved ones in the wake of fury's path. City after city felt this storm's wrath, but after the storm passed, out came the sun. It is true, there was much loss today, but through it all, we must all hang on to hope. For God also came today in the form of family, friends, neighbors, and strangers to search for loved ones, belongings, and help us cope. He is always with us in the storms of life, and even in the midst of our darkest hour. We just have to look for him amidst the chaos. For just like when the sun came out after the storm, God too will shine in all his glory, love, and power.
And if you'd like to read the poem, you can head over to our website, ciproud.com.
Our team coverage continues tonight. WMBD's Alex Davis is live in Washington right now and has more. And Alex, exactly what are you seeing out there at this late hour?
Washington residents, their family and friends are scrambling to try to help put their lives back in order. As many as 250 to 500 homes have been damaged or completely leveled. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn has declared Washington a disaster zone, but still thousands of people here want to call Washington home.
People in the neighborhood, we are able to get a lot of our personal belongings out. Still intact. Our furniture and the big items are gone, but some of the more personal, all our papers and photos and all that, we were able to get out. So we're all healthy, we're alive, and we made it, so that's what's important.
The Illinois Emergency Management Agency says around 200 people were injured across the state Sunday. We know that the death toll here in the Midwest is at 8. The National Weather Service said the Washington tornado had a rating of E4. That means it's had high-speed winds of 170 to 190 miles per hour. Live in Washington, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, the National Weather Service crews will be in Washington tomorrow to give the official assessment. We're going to talk much more about that coming up in your full forecast. Plus, cool temperatures, but at least staying dry for the next couple of days. Some better news in the forecast coming up.